which is related to all the units has been uploaded on YouTube. Okay, it seems that like no one has seen the YouTube videos. Okay, very few people have seen the YouTube videos. So students who really has any doubt, they have missed the lecture, they have not seen the lecture, requesting them to see the videos. Okay, it is all uploaded on YouTube. Whenever you have a time from your busy schedule, you can go and you can see the lectures. Okay, you can sit comfortably and you can see exactly what I have taught. And entire stuff has been covered in a detailed, and a proper explanation has been given. So if you think you want to revise, you can easily go through and you can see in a proper way. Okay, and yesterday also have started with the part that is strategic implementation. In even this is also covered, and I have this is also uploaded yesterday on YouTube video as well. So anyone has a doubt with respect to strategic implementations, we have also covered the introduction part, the uh, development strategy formulation, okay, modes of strategy, everything I have covered in that video, and you can go and you can see the video. Okay, and I have also covered the BCG matrix model. We have given the exam, the G9 cells, for Michael Porter 5 force analysis. Everything has been covered in that video, and you can see, you can watch the video. Okay, and numbers of time. And if you really have any doubt, any queries, the concepts are not clear, you can come to me anytime. You can message me and you can ask the doubt, whatever doubts you have, and we'll surely remove that doubt. We'll clear whatever doubts you have. So we'll move ahead with our further concepts of chapter 3, that is McKinsey 7S framework. McKinsey 7S framework is also one of the concepts with respect to strategy implementation. Why it is important? It is this McKinsey 7 work has this McKinsey 7S framework has been come from the McKinsey organization. It's a McKinsey organization which is situated in USA, and Mr. Thompson Peter and Thomas Peter and Robert Waterman has been come up. They have worked on various concepts, how to implement strategy, why it is so important, what are things that needs to be taken to consideration whenever the things has to be made. Okay, whatever when strategy implementations are made, what are the major things that the organization has to be keep into the mind to make sure that all the things are placed properly. So they came up with this 7 elements. Okay, the 7 elements is share value, structure, system, style, staff, skills, and strategy. These are things they have mentioned in their concept, that this should be this helps the organizations to improve the performance and to maintain the performance in different types of changes whenever the market is being getting changed. So this all these 7 elements always helps the organizations to remain in a market, and they can improve the performance. They can make sure that they deliver the good quality products and services to their customers. So this is how they can always do. So that's why they have given these 7 elements. Sorry. So it helps you to improve the performance of the company. Then it helps to implement the proposed strategy, whatever proposed strategies are there, the proposed strategies can be implemented. It also helps you to access the future changes of the company, whatever future changes are there. Then it helps you to join the department and the process during the mergers and acquisition, holistically and effectively organize a company. This helps you to organize a company. It also helps in examining the current working relations that the organization exhibits, and they also helps to go for a digital transformation of an organization. So these are the 7 elements. It always helps the organizations to grow and to make sure the performance of the organization increases on a regular basis. So first we have a shared value. Shared value is none other than the culture of an organization, the values, the beliefs, how the organization works. Okay, how the organization has a working style. Okay, they have all the interconnected datas with them. Okay, they have the other variables as well, the focal point, and they have the managerial excellence. Shared values helps in generating good amount of commitments as well as motivation the members of the organization. In very simple terminology आप उसको कल्चर वगैरह बोल सकते, कंपनी का काम करने का तरीका. Okay, it is always comes from the top executives of the organization. It does not come from the lower level employees of a company. So it is most important that share values share values is the way, the behavior of the organization, how they would like to do the business, that is said to be the shared value. They have the organizations where they had a very focused mission and visions of the company. They know exactly what is our company and where you want to see ourselves as a company in next 10 to 15 years. जैसे धीरूभाई अंबानी, रिलायंस have seen a good amount of vision when he was the director and CEO of the Reliance. He has made an advertisement, कर लो दुनिया मुट्ठी में. The कर लो दुनिया मुट्ठी में is one of the advertisement in which he want to make sure that every Indian should have the Reliance phone in their hands. So they have make sure that they have made a smaller phones, okay, which are costing around like 1500 or 1800 or 2000 or 2200, including the SIM card and the balance. So this is how that every small person was having that Reliance phone in their hands. So this is how they make sure that they share the values and how they grow the organization. So this also helps the organizations to form these superordinate goals, extraordinary goals for the organizations. And whenever you have a share values, the company always make sure they grow in a very in appropriate way, properly. Okay, they survive the market and they also grow into the market. Then share values also helps the organizations to give good amount of commitment in the company, concerns to the managers. Then they can serve to diversify class of the customer, as company has a varied customers with them. They have different levels of customers, from high class to the economic class of the customer they can always serve. So shared, they should always share the values of an organizations, and the culture of the company describes how it should be work. Then strategy, sorry, strategy is the determinations of the purpose and the basic long-term objectives of an organization. We are learning the strategy from a longer period of time. Okay, from the beginning of this subjects, we have studied strategy formulation, strategy implementation. We have also seen the mission, visions of the organization, the objectives of the organization. So the basic purpose of every organization is to make sure that the why strategies are formed, what is the basic purpose or the basic reason behind for formulating the strategies, and what aim they are having. This is they should always understand, that is more important. So the main focus of making strategy is that they needs to survive in a market. They want to capture the market, and as for the strategy they will always do the allocations of the resources, whatever resources they have, the financial resources, the non-financial resources, capital budgeting. Then they have human resource, land and building, plant and machineries, technology, the various resources whatever are available with them. And they'll make sure that as per the requirement of the organizations, they will surely will divide the resources and allocate the resources, and they'll try to make the place in a market and survive in a market. That will be the most important part. Along with this, they'll make sure that they are into have a technological superiority. They reduce the cost of production. They will be always having a competitive price. They always have a improved quality, dependable services, whatever they whatever things will be there. that can be easily maintained. This helps the organizations to sustain in a market. Then organization using strategies to outshine them. Strategies many a times catch the competitors unaware because this can be changed without any warning. And this market, the business market is totally unpredictable. Okay, the things can be changed, especially with the external environment. The political factor, economical factor, social factors can be changed anytime. You do not have any control over that. So you need to be well aware about what is happening in the market, and you should always have a backup plan. You should always have different kinds of plans available with you. And if the market changes, so you should always have that backup plan available with you, so you can change your plan as per situations available in the market. That is more important. Then you have a structure. Structure is none other than the hierarchies of the organizations, or you can say the pattern of the organization in which the organization works. Okay, the top executive of the level, then you have the vice president, then you have a general manager, then you have a functional departments, then you have the managers, deputy managers, supervisors, team leaders, then you have executives, then you have a blue collar worker. And these are the hierarchies of the organization. The structure is also important. So it is the most important, indicates that whatever things are happening inside the organizations, it has a good amount of relationship. That is more important. You need to maintain the relationship in the organization. Okay, that is more important. So relationship helps the organizations to grow. It interrelates with individuals inside the organization as well. Okay, it is a kind of a formal structure. It's a formal relationship. So structures always helps the organizations to work in a two-way communication. Always two-way communication channels helps the organizations to grow. अगर organizations में खाली single way communication होगा या one way communication होगा, तो it will not be helpful for the company as well. So it is very much beneficial for the company to make sure that it always has the two-way communication. It reduces the role of a specific individual of the company, because you can always share the responsibility amongst your fellow colleagues. So structures are made in such a way that all the employees of the organizations have the similar kinds of responsibilities, and they can equally hold that responsibility. That is more important. Then it effectively coordinates the activities of the organization. It ensures the rational allocations of the task and formations of the small task groups as the performance center. So it is also important for the organizations to make sure that wherever the tasks are required, the task can be importantly formed. So small teams can be formed inside the organization, and that's why the team leaders are always formed. Team leaders form करने का यही purpose होता है कि this team leader will always lead this team, and they'll make sure that whatever task and whatever work is allotted to this team, they will complete that work in a specific time period. That is more important. Then you have system. System is none other than the various rules, regulations, procedures, policies that needs to be followed by each and every employees of an organization. That is more important. Then system composed of training and development, performance evaluation, capital budgeting, production planning, control system, cost accounting procedure, management information systems. So it is very much important for the organizations to make sure that each and every employees of an organization must follow the various rules and regulations of an organization. That is very much important. And they will this strategy and structure will always go under some modification wherever there is a requirement. See, you cannot be rigid with your ways of working. Whatever way you decide to work, you cannot be rigid. You need to some have some flexibility in your organization. You need to make sure that wherever required, you need to maintain that decorum, that you can change your working style, you can change the way you want to work. That is more important. So system is one of the place where you can always make sure that it works in a proper way. Style is something like each organization has an own working style. As being an individual, let's say apo, you and your brother will not same. Okay, even your father and your mother, or the characteristics of your and your brother will not be same. If you check the hands of your father, mother and your brother and sister, it will not be same. जो आपके हाथ के लाइंस वगैरह हैं वो सब डिफरेंट रहते हैं. सो हर एक जो काम करने जो इंडिविजुअल बंदे होते हैं वो बंदा यूनिक होता है. यू विल नॉट बी अ डिफरेंट पार्ट. So you are one of the unique person. So it is most important for the organization that they are unique. Okay, they have their own way of working. They cannot copy the style of the other organization. So that is more important for the company, that how the organization is working. Every organization has their own way of working in the market. Then it is all depend upon the top executives or top management of an organization to make sure that how it is working. Then style includes the organization culture. Okay, with the with it can be shared by the members of the organization. Style is seen in the forms of norms, actions, traditions and ritual as well. That is more important. Then you have staff. Staff is the human resource of the organization. Staff is most importantly the manpower for the executions of the business plan. So whatever business plans is formed by the organizations to make sure that they get into the business, and they will make sure that uh, they will run. Okay, staff, or you can say the human resource, are one of the assets for the organizations. So it is very much important for the company. Just hold on. Okay, so human resource are one of the biggest assets of an organization. So the organization has to make sure that they cannot take the risk to leave them, or they cannot take the risk to lose such people who are really assets for the organization. That is more important. And placing the right human resource, or placing the right employee at right place, in one of the most crucial tasks of every organization. So it is a basic principle, and wherever is necessary, organizations needs to take the responsibility to give the proper training and development facilities to all the employees of an organization, to polish them so they can increase their performance appraisals of an organization. So wherever is required, the performance, if you think that the performance of the employees is not getting better, you need to work on the performance of the employee. So you can always try to find out where exactly the employees are lacking behind. Are they lacking behind with the communication skills, technical skills, or they do not have the adequate knowledge, skills, abilities? What exactly the problems they are really facing, and we can easily work on those problems, and the organizations can provide different kinds of things, and they can easily make sure that they always provide them whatever required. And the young recruits, whatever young recruits are there, the young recruits always helps they are the future managers. Okay, they make sure that whatever is happening or whatever is required into the organization, they will be providing everything. So staff is very much introduced, and this they also make sure that they gives enough personal space to the staff so they can grow, they can put their efforts to increase the performance of the employee. And they also give them career planning, development of a personal growth is also given. And you have already learned the um, um, Maslow theory. The Maslow theory shows the basic needs of the human being, or you can say the individuals of the or the employees of an organization. So he needs the basic necessity of an basic necessity, food, clothing, and shelter. Along with that, he will go for the security, self-actualization, self-esteem. These are the various levels that are there which are required by the staff. So it is more important for the organizations to make sure that whatever things are required, the staff also plays a very critical role in this. Then skills. The skills are something like every organization has a different skills in them, and they are specialized and expertise in their own ways. If you take the examples of the Larsen and Toubro, Larsen and Toubro's or L&T, L&T are have their skills into the mechanical engineering, so they really works and they really has a good skills to work into the mechanical parts. And they are very much have good amount of skills in engineering. Whenever you talk about the examples of PNG or HUL or the other organization, they really has good amount of skills in marketing. So these organizations really have their skills in their own way, so they know exactly how to increase the business and what is their specialty. Every business has their own specialty and their own working style. That is more important. So these are the McKinsey 7S framework in which we have covered the shared value, structure, system, style, staff, skills, and strategy. Now, strategy implementation puts strategy implementation. Now, we in this entire subject, from the beginning of this subject, we have already learned a lot of things with respect to what is strategy, how strategies are formed, what are things that needs to be taken into consideration when strategies are formed, then why strategies are so important, what will be the outcome of that strategy. Everything we have seen in that is more important. The strategy formulations के time पे क्या क्या चीज़ important है. You need to understand the market, you need to understand the internal and external environment. You need to also understand the strength and weakness of the organization. Also you need to understand the opportunities and threats of an organization. So these are the things we have seen in chapter 1 and chapter 2. Now that was the introduction part of strategy and strategy formulation. Now if strategies are not implemented at the right time, okay, then it is a waste of making a strategy. Strategy banana, strategy लिखना, स्ट्रैटेजी फॉर्म करके उसको रखना, लेकिन अगर उसको राइट टाइम पे अगर इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं करोगे तो इट इज अ वेस्ट. Okay, so you need to find out which is the right way or which is the right time to implement the strategies in the market, so we can really get good amount of output. The major reason for making any kinds of strategy for every business is to get returns on investment. ओके, सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बात होता है कि जब भी कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन किसी भी तरह से कोई भी स्ट्रेटेजी बनाती है, तो स्ट्रेटेजी बनाने के पीछे उनका एक ही मकसद होता है कि हमारा जो बिजनेस है, हमारे जो प्रोडक्ट्स एंड सर्विसेज हैं, वो प्रोडक्ट एंड सर्विसेज बहुत बेहतरीन क्वालिटी से लोगों के पास जाए, लोग उसे पसंद करें और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा उसको परचेस करें. And that is the entire purpose. So you take any product, you take chocolate, you take biscuit, you take watch, you take any product which is available in the market. So the major purpose that we will not charge high, but we will not charge low also. It depends upon the quality of the product. As per the quality are there, we will start charging the things to the customers and the consumers. So as per the price they charge, and as per the quality the people also purchase. So they have the major purpose कि जो strategy हम बनाते हैं कि नया product launch करना है, नया variant launch करना है, हमारा नया product launch करना है market में. So when all these stuffs are there, they make sure that कि they also understand कि who are their competitors, what is their role, what are their strategy, what they are thinking about our product, what will they do with the counter attack. ये सारे चीज यहाँ पे देखने को आपको मिलेंगे. So that is also important while making a strategy. Strategy implementation put strategy into operation throughout the organization with the help of the middle and operating level management. So most important part, whenever strategies are formed by the top executives of the organization. It is never ever made by the middle level employees of an organization. जो भी strategies होते हैं वो सारे strategies top executives form करते हैं. But जब implementations की बात आती है वो सारे implementations middle level and operating level के लोग ही करते हैं. Then it also involve the displays of a leadership skills, interpersonal relations also, successful implementations, their right organization design. You also require the right organization design to implement the strategy. Strategy needs to be fit between company goals and their activity as well. A good strategy without proper implementation like is a poor strategy or not strategy at all. So अगर आपने अच्छा स्ट्रैटेजी बनाया लेकिन सही वक्त पे उसको इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं करोगे तो इट इज़ अ पुअर स्ट्रैटेजी. सो फॉर एग्जांपल नाउ फॉर इन द मंथ ऑफ मार्च अप्रैल के महीने में जहाँ फिर फरवरी मार्च के महीने में आईपीएल्स वगैरह आते हैं. तो this is the right time to endorse any product. This is the right time to launch a new product. This is the right time where you can always make sure that the product can be viewed by the uh, people's many maximum time, especially with the Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, because this in during this period of time, the private organizations and as well as the public organizations do also have the holidays, and it is a weekend, so public prefer to sit at home and watch televisions. And if there's an IPL match, the people go and start watch the IPL matches, and so you this is the right time where you can make the advertisement of your products, and people will start watching, and once they went into the market to purchase the stuffs for their home, and if you think that कि हाँ ये वहाँ पे पड़ा हुआ है, तो people will start purchasing such kind of products. So it is very much important for the organizations to make the strategy in a proper way. If strategies are made properly and implemented properly, so half of the war you have already uh, won. That is more important. So there are features of strategy implementation. First, you require comprehensive in nature. Comprehensive in nature is something like you need to make sure that the strategy, whenever strategies are formed and implemented, you need to make sure that all the departments of an organization's been covered in this. So you cannot just isolate this to make the strategy in isolations, and you can implement the strategy in for one department. So it is most important for the company to make sure that all the department, that will be the marketing department, HR department, finance department, maintenance department, IT operations department, store inventories department, logistics department, advertising department, accounts department, whichever departments are there, all the departments should be get covered in this. That is more important. So whenever the organizations makes the strategy, they always needs to understand key you need to cover each and every aspects and each and every department of an organization to make sure that they are considered in this strategy and they are working on this strategy. So you need to make sure that should be comprehensive in nature. All the departments has been covered while making a strategy. So कल को टॉप एग्जीक्यूटिव नहीं बोल पाएगा कि हम लोग ने स्ट्रैटेजी सिर्फ फाइनेंस के लिए बनाया था या ऑपरेशंस के लिए बनाया था या प्रोडक्शन के लिए बनाया था. नो, strategies are formed and implemented for the entire organization. Second, commitment of a management. So you really required a commit from a management. See, management really plays a very crucial role in this. स्ट्रैटेजी बनाते वो वही लोग हैं और स्ट्रैटेजी इंप्लीमेंट कराने के लिए वही लोग लगते हैं, बिकॉज वॉट एवर रिसोर्सेज रिक्वायर्ड टू इम्प्लीमेंट द स्ट्रैटेजी और टू फॉर्म द स्ट्रैटेजीज विल बी allocated by them only. What that will be financial resources, human resources, latest technology, latest machineries, sites, okay, land and building, whatever things will be required to make a new product or to make a variant of the new product or diversifying the product, whatever things will be required, that will be surely will be allocated by these people only. So it is very much important from the top executive that whatever commitment they are saying, that whatever thing will be requiring to you, that we will provide. So it is the foremost important part for the organizations to make sure that they provide whatever is required, that we will provide to you. That is a commitment of a management. Third, series of an action. So strategy formulation or making a strategy or strategy implementation is not something like it is a single part. Okay, it is a continuous process. हमने ये बिगिनिंग से ही पढ़ते आए हैं कि स्ट्रैटेजी बनाना, स्ट्रैटेजी फॉर्मुलेट करना, स्ट्रैटेजी को वर्क ऑन करना, प्रोडक्ट एंड सर्विस के बारे में सोचना, एनवायरमेंटल के बारे में सोचना, पॉलिटिकल फैक्टर्स के बारे में सोचना, इकोनॉमिकल, टेक्नोलॉजिकल, सोशल, कस्टमर टेस्ट एंड प्रेफरेंसेस, एवरीथिंग गेट चेंजेस which is unpredictable. So it is a series of action. It is a continuous process. ये ऐसा नहीं कि आज आप उड़ गए, आज आपको लग रहा है कि हाँ आज का दिन बहुत अच्छा है, सब कुछ अच्छा हो रहा है, तो आज स्ट्रैटेजी बनाते हैं, स्ट्रैटेजी बनाने के बाद उसको आज ही इम्प्लीमेंट कर देंगे एंड वी विल गेट द रिजल्ट. नो, it is a series of action. You need to do good amount of research. You need to work on the things, how the market is running, what the competitors are doing, what are their roles, what they are doing with their product and services, how they are attracting the consumers and customers towards their product, what we need to do with our products and services. So you need to always has to understand ये सारा चीज एक ही दिन में नहीं होता, ये series of actions हैं. Okay, and the series of actions will always takes you to the place where you need to reach once the strategy is implemented. That is more important. Then versatile ability. Versatile ability is something like whenever the strategies are made, okay, inside the organization, the managers who plays the important role or a crucial role with respect to strategy formulations and implementation, all the managers should always have the experience of all the departments. Okay, they should have the varied experience or versatile experience of finance, marketing, HR, IT, operations, logistics, inventory, stores. इस सारा चीज का आपके पास नॉलेज होना बहुत जरूरी होता है, बिकॉज you need a innovative mind, a creative mind, and this creative mind will always helps you to make a good strategy. And you can easily understand ki how the things will be working, and whatever we have to do we can easily possess. So you can always say that ki if the situation gets changes, because things are unpredictable, if situation gets changes, the manager should always also have that ability that in different situation they should cope up, they should find out a ways. Now what we can do, whatever things are there, what are required as per the situation, they can change the strategy, they can find out a way that what we can do right now. That is more important. So that is versatile ability is one of the crucial part that is required whenever you make strategy implementation. Then interrelated activity. Interrelated activities are like that, as I said earlier ki whenever strategies are formed, strategies cannot be done in vacuum. You cannot do strategies into isolation. You need to make the strategy successful. It is all depends upon the other department as well. So if you want to increase the sales of an organization and the marketing department has involved in each and every strategy, but the production department are not aware, so The production department will not be aware about ki how much productions we need to increase, how much productions we need to do, okay, to fulfill the requirement of the marketing department. So it is the interrelated activity. It is more important for the organizations to make sure that if whatever commitment the marketing department has given to the consumers or the customers or to the wholesalers कि हम लोग आपको इतने वक्त में इतना प्रोडक्शन करके देंगे, अगर ये प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट को पता नहीं होगा तो they won't able to produce the number of products and services required in a market. So it is very much important for the organizations to make sure that the whatever is required, it needs to be interrelated with other department as well. So you need to consider every department. You need to make sure that each and every team leader, each and every department of an organization have the well-versed knowledge about the strategy formulation and the implementation. Then only we can successfully complete the strategy. Then you have the functional activity. Functional activity is something like the functional department. The functional department plays a very crucial role. The functional departments are none other than the HR, finance, marketing are the functional departments. So they also plays a very important role in this. So functional if you want to carry it out functional activities properly, the manager must cultivate the situational leadership styles as well. So if also changes getting worse, you need to do something like सिचुएशन हैंडल्स करने के लिए आपके पास कुछ ना कुछ सॉल्यूशंस होना चाहिए. तो ये मार्केट में आपका जो कॉम्पिटिटर है वो किस तरह के स्ट्रैटेजी यूटिलाइज करेगा, किस तरह से आपको हार्म करेगा, क्या क्या स्ट्रैटेजी यूटिलाइज करके आपको वो आपका बिजनेस लॉस करने की कोशिश करेगा, ये सारे फैक्टर्स यहाँ पे इंक्लूड होते हैं. एंड यू रियली डोंट नो, तो यू नीड टू ऑलवेज बी अवेयर, यू शुड बी ऑलवेज रेडी to find out a situation that how you can always be uh, handle the situation. You can easily handle the situation in a very proper way. And there's always a two-way communications for the effective strategy implementations. Also if you really want to implement strategies, there should also be a proper allocations of the resources should be there. So डिपार्टमेंट दैट विल बी द प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट, मार्केटिंग डिपार्टमेंट या डिपार्टमेंट, जो जो रिसोर्सेज या डिपार्टमेंट्स को लगने वाले हैं, ये सारे रिसोर्सेज का अलोकेशंस और उनको वो सारा चीज का जो रिक्वायरमेंट है वो प्रोवाइड करने का रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होता है टॉप मैनेजमेंट का. सो टॉप मैनेजमेंट शुड मेक श्योर दैट कि हर डिपार्टमेंट का जो जो रिक्वायरमेंट है वो सारा फुलफिल करो. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप उनको एक्स्ट्रा दो, पर ऐसा भी नहीं कि उनको कम देना चाहिए. तो कम दोगे तो माइट बी वर्क ऑन नहीं होगा, या उन लोग का जो रिक्वायरमेंट है वो फुलफिल नहीं होगा, एंड दे वोंट एबल टू अचीव द टारगेट्स ऑफ वॉट एवर थिंग्स आर रिक्वायर्ड, दे वोंट एबल टू डू दैट. सो इट इज वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द एम्प्लॉयज टू मेक श्योर दैट कि जो जो उनका रिक्वायरमेंट है या जो जो उनको चाहिए वो सारा चीज उनको प्रोवाइड करो, सो they can easily achieve whatever things they have planned. That is more important. So these are the features of strategic implementation. Then you have major issues in strategy implementation. Major issues you also have there. First, you have institutionalization of strategy. Institutionalization of strategy का मतलब है कि you need to communicate the strategy to all the employees of an organization. That is more important. तो सबसे पहला काम यही है कि जो भी strategies organizations form करेगी, वो सारे strategies को आपको you need to communicate, you need to announce to each and every employee or members of an organization. You cannot keep the strategy into isolation, जो हमने पहले ही पढ़ा. See, there are many things which are getting repeated again, and जो हमने यहाँ पे किया वो same thing यहाँ पे भी आने वाला है, but still I'll cover the things. So you need to first most important point that you need to cover, you need to communicate the strategies properly to all the employees of an organization, because they should be well versed about the strategy, they should know what is happening in an organization, what strategies are formed, how it will be forming, what are their role in this, and the manager should agree. The manager should agree with the strategies formed by the organization. अगर managers को strategy agree नहीं हुआ तो the CEOs and CFO जो बड़े post पे काम करते हैं, the designations पे काम करते हैं, these people will get interfere in this and they will give the final judgment. So strategy communication and strategy acceptance is one of the most important part into the institutionalization of a strategy. So strategy form करना, it is not that difficult, but at the same time it is also important that all the employees of the organization should accept that strategy. अगर उन्होंने accept ही नहीं किया तो they will not work in full fledged, they will not give their 100% of the productivity and they will not give you the performance. So it is very much important for the organizations that whatever strategies are required, the strategy should be properly properly should be communicated to all the employees of the organization. Then formulations of derivative plans and programs. So organizations has to also make sure that they make the proper plans and programs. Now plans is something like how we are going to formulate the strategy, what kind of strategy we are going to form. Will it will be a standing plan or it will be a single use plan? So depends upon project to project, or depends upon how the market is working, how the product is working, what we need to do. अगर कोई रेगुलर आपका प्रोडक्ट है एंड इसको रेगुलर पे प्लान चाहिए तो रेगुलर स्टैंडिंग प्लान आप यूटिलाइज कर सकते हो, या रेगुलर स्टैंडिंग स्ट्रेटेजी आप बना के उसको डाल सकते हो, बिकॉज यू नो दिस इज द रेगुलर प्रोडक्ट. And people always has ups and downs, and people purchase, they sometimes purchase from us, they sometimes go to the other party and they purchase from there, so depends upon them also. So it is also important to have the plan. But if there is special project, जहाँ पे special project होता है, वहाँ पे you need to have the single use plan. Single use plan का मतलब होता है कि वो plan सिर्फ एक ही बार utilize होगा, और एक ही बार utilize करने के बाद that plan or that strategy will be demolished. They will remove that plan. That is said to be the single use plan. इट इज़ अ नॉन रिपीटेटिव, तो ये बार बार रिपीट नहीं होगा, ये एक ही बार यूटिलाइज होगा, और एक ही बार यूटिलाइज होने के बाद उसको निकाल दिया जाएगा. दैट इज सेड टू बी सिंगल यूज प्लान. Then you have translation of general objectives into specific objectives. So general objectives, अगर मुझे बोलना है कि बाबा I want to increase my sales, that is said to be general objectives, so that will not work. So whenever strategy implementations का बात होती है, तो strategy implementations are something like you need to very much specific. I want to increase my sales. So how much percentage you want to increase your sales? By 30%. In this coming quarter, my organization should increase my sales by 30%. So you are changing your general objectives into specific objectives. General objective आप बोल सकते हो return on equity, market share, return on investment, stock price. This all comes under the general objectives. But you need to be make sure that कि बाबा general objectives को निकाल के it needs to be focused on how that converted into specific objective. You need to focus on the specific objective. So it is very much important for the organizations to make you change into specific objective. Now I want to increase my sales target, तो sales target का जो strategy होगा वो कैसे होगा, नॉर्मल आप आपके डिपार्टमेंट को बता दोगे, लेकिन अगर मुझे उसको चेंज करना है या मुझे उसको स्पेसिफिक बनाना है, तो I can go for a sales target. I can increase my campaign. I'll increase my canopies. I can go and contact the customers. I'll increase my sales promotion. That is said to be the specific objectives. Then you have resource mobilization and allocation. So resource mobilization का मतलब होता है resource allocations. whatever resources are required by the organizations, or you can say whatever resources are located or required by the organization, that resources needs to be given to that specific department. That is more important. So every organization has to make sure that whatever resources are required, that needs to be provided on time. That would be money, facilities and equipments, materials, supplies, services, और पर्सनल, दैट इज अ ह्यूमन रिसोर्स. सो जो भी आपको चाहिए, आपको लेटेस्ट मशीन चाहिए, लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग चाहिए, पैसा चाहिए, इक्विपमेंट चाहिए, टूल्स चाहिए, कंपोनेंट चाहिए, जो जो आपके रिसोर्सेस के लिए आपको अलोकेशन चाहिए, वो सारा चीज़ यहाँ पे आप कर सकते हैं. Okay, in this, if you talk about like tangible resources and intangible resources, so tangible may you have finance, human resource, technology, physical things what are required, and intangible may you have creativity, then you have trust and confidence, reputation, honesty. This comes under the resource allocation. So it is more important that कि whatever resources are required, see organizations, अभी हम बोलते हैं ऐसे कि सारा चीज होना चाहिए, but ये जब एक्चुअल में, जब प्रैक्टिकलिटी में, whenever you start implementing things, whenever in practicals, whenever you start implementing strategies ना, इससे बहुत बड़े बड़े प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं. ये तो हम बहुत ही छोटे लेवल पे डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, बट really the resources in the companies face lots of issues. Not the bigger companies, but the companies with of mid size or a small size really face lots of issues when they start acquiring the resources, when you start gathering the resources. जब भी सारे resources gather करने की कोशिश करते हैं, बहुत सारे challenges, बहुत सारे problems इनके सामने आते हैं, and due to which they really face lots of issues. So that they need to understand कि अब हमको क्या क्या कहाँ कहाँ पे करना है. Again you have structured. Again structured we have already seen here. Okay, the structure is none other than the pattern, the formal relationship of the organization. Okay, how the organization will start working, who will return to who will be getting responses, or who has a responsibility to meet, or who has the responsibility to get in contact, to get in touch with the person. That is more important. So every person of an organization has a structured, a formal relationship. So formal relationship always helps the employees to make sure that कि ये सारा जो आपका स्ट्रक्चर है काम करने का, दैट इज स्टैंडर्डाइज एंड फिक्स्ड. ओके, दे यू नीड टू गिव द प्रायोरिटीज कि how the flow will glow, the flow of the information from go from top to bottom. Okay, because information goes from top to bottom, does not go from bottom to top. Okay, अगर कुछ मैसेज पास ऑन करना है तो वो आप कर सकते हो, बट जो मेजर चेंजेस वगैरह कंपनीज में होते हैं, वो सारा मेजर चेंजेस यहाँ से नीचे से ऊपर से नीचे जाता है. इट इज द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. यू नीड टू कीप अ प्रॉपर balance, okay, in the organizations with respect to specializations, activity. It should be well integrated, it should be well interrelated in the organization, that you need to be understand. Then you have the functional policies. The functional policies is very much important. Strategies on the various functional area, that is very much important. Functional area is none other than the functional department. So you need to be carefully select the policy, sharpen the meaning and strategy, and guides to a specific decisions in a direction that that will support the direction. So each and every functional area will always has the autonomy. Autonomy का मतलब होता है कि they will always have the freedom to take their own decisions. So it is very much important for the organizations to make sure that कि जो जो पॉलिसी लगेगा या जो जो जहाँ जहाँ लगने वाला है, वो आप अपने लेवल पे खुद से कर सकते हो. You can take the responsibility and you can do that. So production department will always have the autonomy to take the decisions to produce the goods. The marketing department will always has the autonomy to take their own decisions to do the marketing of the product and services and to do the advertisement of the product and services. So they always have their own way of working. So that is all comes under the strategy implementation. Then we'll move forward for a project implementation. Project is something like it represents business opportunities and attract investments. तो जो बड़े बड़े प्रोजेक्ट्स होते, फॉर एग्जांपल बैंड्रा वर्ली सीलिंग है, ये सबसे बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट था where n numbers of things was invested in this. Then जो अगर कलीना में आप रहते हो तो कलीना में देखो बहुत सारा बड़ा सा ब्रिज का काम चल रहा है. सो इट इज अगेन अ बिगर प्रोजेक्ट. एयरपोर्ट, डैम, port, the whatever ports, shipping ports have been built is all come under the major project. So the project is something like a very special thing for the organization. It is not a regular product which has an input and output and you get good amount of benefit. No, it is not like that. So it is very much different. So project implementation will always has definite start and definite time, but it is something like ये रेगुलर काम नहीं होता है. आज प्रोजेक्ट बॉम्बे में है तो दूसरा प्रोजेक्ट कहीं और पे होगा, शायद से बेंगलोर में होगा या तो हैदराबाद में होगा या केरला में होगा. तो इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन कंपनी, हाउ द कंपनी इज परफॉर्मिंग, हाउ द कंपनी इज वर्किंग, and depends upon company they start working. So project implementation is a bigger thing for the organization. They start implementing the project. So it is depends upon the project कि प्रोजेक्ट शॉर्ट टर्म का है या लॉन्ग टर्म का है. अगर प्रोजेक्ट टाइम पे खत्म होता है तो प्रॉफिट होगा, लेकिन अगर प्रोजेक्ट डिले होता जाएगा तो उतना ही कंपनी को नुकसान होते जाएगा. सो इट इज वेरी मच इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन टू मेक श्योर दैट कि आपका जो प्रोजेक्ट है वो प्रोजेक्ट कितना टाइम लगेगा, कितना इन्वेस्टमेंट होगा, उसमें रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट कितना मिलेगा, ये सारा चीज यहाँ पे इम्पोर्टेंट करता है. That is more important. So there are various phases of projects are there. First you have conception phase. Now in conception phase, the organizer, for example L&T. L&T is one of the biggest engineering organizations which has lot of projects with them. जैसे अभी बॉम्बे में प्रॉपर सीएसटी में अगर आप जाओगे तो वहाँ पे मेट्रो का काम चल रहा है, विच इज स्पेशली अंडरग्राउंड मेट्रो का काम अगर चल रहा है तो इट इज नॉट simple project. It is very complicated project, very unique project, and I guess they're working from last 3 to 4 years, and it will take more 2 years to get completed. So they have almost have completed the work. 60% of the work has been done. 40% of the work is yet to get completed. वो शायद से अगले 2-3 साल में complete होगा. So ऐसे ही when you talk about like conceptual phase, so these are the things where they have many projects in their hands. It is not something like they have Bandra Worli sailing, or they have a CST ka metro project, or they have the project of building a T2 in Bombay, and they have the project of making airport in Bangalore, or they have the project to make the dam in Delhi. So n numbers of projects are there. So they have 10 to 15 projects in their hand. So they need to select कि भाई इसमें से कौन सा प्रोजेक्ट हमको लेना चाहिए, विच इज द बेस्ट प्रोजेक्ट एंड विच प्रोजेक्ट विल strategically helps the organization give good amount of returns on investment. So you need to understand कि हमारे पास अभी फिलहाल 10 से 12 प्रोजेक्ट्स अवेलेबल है. इन 10 से 12 प्रोजेक्ट में से हमको कौन सा वाला प्रोजेक्ट लेना चाहिए. दैट इज सेड टू बी द कंसेप्शनल फेज. Second, definition phase in that you need to give the priority. In this phase you need to understand ki baba, what are the current resources we are having with us. We have money, we have machines, we have human resource, we have all the technical team available, we have land and building, we have logistics. So we can travel from one place to the other place, and we have all the department placed okay properly, and based on this we can complete a certain project. मतलब अगर मुझे मेट्रो का काम करना है सीएसटी में, तो सीएसटी का मेट्रो का काम खत्म करने के लिए मेरे पास लोग है, मेरे पास मशीन्स है, मेरे पास स्ट्रक्चर है, मेरे पास प्लान है, मेरे पास पैसा पड़ा हुआ है, मुझे पता है कि ये काम करने के लिए कितना वक्त लगेगा, मेरे पास सारे परमिशंस है, मैं सब कुछ कर सकता हूँ। तो व्हेन यू हैव ऑल द पेपर क्लियर विथ you can easily give a priority to a project which is clear enough. You know that कि with the help of strategical intent we can complete this project on time. That is said to be the definition phase. Then third, you have planning and organizing. Now you need to start the planning कि बाबा whatever procedures are there and whatever legal formalities are required, that needs to be get completed. अगर मैं किसी एक प्रोजेक्ट को चूज करता हूँ या सिलेक्ट करता हूँ, तो उसके रिलेटेड जो भी मेरा डॉक्यूमेंटेशन का काम रहेगा, वो सारे डॉक्यूमेंटेशन का काम मैं चालू करूँगा, क्योंकि मुझे वो काम चालू करना है। तो पेपर वर्क लगेगा, बीएमसी का परमिशन लगेगा, या जो जो परमिशंस लगने वाले हैं वो परमिशंस लगेंगे, या जो मैंने गवर्नमेंट से मुझे वो मिला है, तो गवर्नमेंट से जो मुझे पेपर क्लियर करना है, या मुझे डेवलपमेंट एग्रीमेंट करना है दोनों टीम के बीच, दोनों कंपनीज के बीच में, तो दैट आई नीड्स टू डू। आई ऑल्सो नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द मोड ऑफ पेमेंट, द फेजेस ऑफ पेमेंट दैट यू नीड टू डू, everything you need to do a proper planning. You should also have a project team. ओके, प्रोजेक्ट का टीम क्या होगा, उसका लीडर कौन होगा, देन फाइनेंशियल स्ट्रक्चर कैसा होना चाहिए, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फैसिलिटी क्या होना चाहिए, ह्यूमन रिसोर्स कितने लगेंगे, किस तरह से ह्यूमन रिसोर्स स्किल्स आपको लगने वाले हैं, प्रोडक्शन कैसे होगा, प्रोडक्शन प्लानिंग कैसे होगा, उसका स्केड्यूलिंग कैसे होगा, किस तरह से करना चाहिए, कब तक ये काम हम स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं, ये काम टेंटेटिवली कब तक खत्म कर सकते हैं, सारा चीज का प्लानिंग आपको यहाँ पे करना है. Then you have implementation stage. So once the procedures, documentation, the team is being get ready, then you start implementing this project. Implementing का मतलब not work. You have started this, started that product and say selling to the customer. No, you will start on working on that project. You will start the process to begin that project. मुझे अभी पूरा टनल को चालू करना है, डिग करने के लिए, उसके लिए पूरा मशीनरीज वहां पे लाऊंगा मैं, मेरे ह्यूमन रिसोर्स लगेगा, स्किल्स लगेंगे, so that everything will come, you will bring together. So you will try and purchase a land, construction equipment, purchase of machineries, okay. Then whatever commissions are given for the project, that needs to be provided. You whatever tools or human resource required from outside places, or whatever skills or whatever people will be requiring to complete that project जो लगने वाला है, उसको आप बुला सकते हो. Then you can start implementation project. So whatever things are required and you have gathered in the planning, जो अपने planning के phase में किया था, आप यहाँ पे उसको आप implement करोगे. In this phase you will start implementing the stuff. That is very much important. And at the last, that is functional phase. In functional phase you will make sure that whatever project you have taken in your hands, you will complete that project, and you will hand over the project to the respective for party. For example, जो मेट्रो का काम है अब गवर्नमेंट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र को पे देना है, तो एलएनटी क्या करेगी, एलएनटी पूरा प्रोजेक्ट बनाएगी, उसको फंक्शन करके रन करके उसको महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट को हैंड ओवर कर देगी. दिस इज हाउ द फंक्शनल फेज वर्क. सो एलएनटी ने आपको सिर्फ बना के दिया, एलएनटी विल नॉट रन दैट प्रोजेक्ट. Its ultimate responsibility to run that project is belongs to government of Maharashtra, or they need to give to third party, to any of the private organization. The L&T has the responsibility that you said that if we want to have a metro from चर्चगेट टू अंधेरी, तो यहाँ तक हमारा जो यहाँ मेट्रो स्टेशन का काम है या मेट्रो का काम है, हम यहाँ से करेंगे, तो आप हमको यहाँ से यहाँ तक मेट्रो का लाइन डाल के दो. तो L&T will make sure that कि they will start on definition phase, they'll do all the planning, they will do the implementation part, and they will make sure that whatever things are there, it will start functioning and once it is functioning properly, it will be successfully hand over to the respective party and the deal is completed. This is called the phases of project. Okay. Then there's also the stages of stages are there for the process implementation. First, you have exploration stage. Exploration stage means you need to understand कि whether you should take this project or not. सबसे पहली बात होता है एक्सप्लोर करना. You need to find out कि how this project is going to run, whether we should whether we should take this project or not. हमको ये प्रोजेक्ट से कितना फायदा हो सकता है या कितना नुकसान हो सकता है, ये सारा चीज को हम लोग बोल सकते हैं. So that is more important for the organizations to make sure that कि everything with respect to exploration stage, explore, you need to understand, you need to work on, you need to make sure that ये सारा चीज आप करोगे and you get this part. Okay. So goals, you need to understand whether or not you should go ahead with the implementation process or not. Then installation something like you need to have a bigger capacity system, support system for new practices. Okay. While installing, you should have everything. During installation, you should have everything in a written format. You cannot be just stick on to one place and say that key now we can go with the instruction plan. You should always have everything in a written format. Instruction plan helps. जब भी आपका रिटर्न फॉर्मेट में होता है, it always helps the organizations to install in a proper way. तो जब भी आप इंस्ट्रक्शन का बात होता है, you should always have the proper written document that helps you to do a correct installation. Then you have initial implementation. So you will start the trial and error. आप initial implementations करना चालू करोगे कि बाबा ये चलेगा कि नहीं चलेगा. You need to review the data, you need to make the decisions, you need to take a regular feedback. Okay, you need to give the feedback to the management that whatever project we have done, it is running successfully or it is facing, we are facing challenges, we are facing problems, whatever things are that you need to be find out. सो इनिशियल इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में आप थोड़ा ट्रायल एंड एरर करते रहते हो, तो ट्रायल एंड एरर के बाद आपको सारा चीज पता चलना चालू हो जाता है. सो इफ challenges are there, the challenges can be removed properly, and if it is if it is running properly, then no issues, no problem at all. But the challenges वहाँ पे face हो रहा है, तो वहाँ पे challenges को face नहीं करते हुए जो problems face आ रहे हो वो problem को remove करते हुए you go for the full implementation. So if it is running properly, then it is no problem. But if you're facing challenges, you need to rectify the challenges and you need to rectify the problems for full implementations of the project. And once the implementations is fully implemented, you can go for scale ups. Scale up मतलब और थोड़ा ऊपर जाके you can do good amount of improvement, or you can go for expanded infrastructure. You can and do good amount improvement with the help of data system, or you can also recruit skilled employees for the organization. You can always make good amount of appropriate policies, rules, regulations for the organization or these projects. You can also will do good amount of fundings, and you can utilize share website. You can also do good amount of learning communities or holding good amount of meetings so that it can grow more. दैट इज द मोर इम्पोर्टेंट. सो जो अगर आपको उसमें इम्प्रूवमेंट लाना है या आपको बढ़ाना है इसको, तो आप इसको स्केल अप कर सकते हो. तो सबसे पहला है कि आप एक्सप्लोर करो कि आपको करना है कि नहीं करना है. देन वंस यू डिसाइडेड आपको करना है, तो स्टार्ट इंस्टॉलिंग द प्रोसेस. ओके. So while installing, you should have everything on a written format, and a written format always helps the organizations to do the proper installation. Then you should always have the initial implementation, and then you have the full implementation, and then you can scale up for this. The different types of processes we can always see. The first, you have value chain analysis. Value chain analysis is something like You can see the chart. I have put in the diagram on the right side corner. The value chain analysis क्या होता है? Value chain analysis is the combination of primary activities and supporting activity. Now primary activity is not other than the input sorry, input output, working process, output, marketing, sales, and after sales services. So this is how the value chain is always work. Okay, so input का मतलब होता है raw material. So whatever raw materials are required to manufacture the goods and services in the organization, उसको हम लोग बोलेंगे inbound activity. And whatever working process happens in the organization, that is said to be the processing. Okay, or you can say the process working process which happens inside the organization. And when you convert the raw material, or the process of converting raw material from raw material to the finished good, usko bolenge working progress. And then you have the uh, output process, or you can say finished goods. So once the finished goods are available with you, you can always do lot of marketing and sales. And once the marketing and sales has been done, you can always move ahead for the after sales services. So after sales services, something like it is up to organizations ki how the after sales services should be given to the customer. That is more important for the company. And for this, you will surely require the सपोर्टिंग एक्टिविटी में आता है आपका ह्यूमन रिसोर्स, टेक्नोलॉजी, स्ट्रैटेजी एंड रिसर्च एंड डेवलप डिपार्टमेंट. So it is very much important for the organizations to understand कि whatever things are required to complete the product and services for the organizations or the inside the organization. It is like you need to make sure the primary activity, and it is the merge, it is the combination of both. Okay, it's a combination of primary as well as supporting activity. So it is very much important for the organization that you need to complete the process of production. Okay, and you need to give the high quality or a good quality product and services to your customer. It is impossible with the help of human resource, latest technology, strategy, and research and develop department. So it is much more important for the organization. Okay, then benchmarking is something like you need to set a standard. ओके, आपको एक वहाँ पे स्टैंडर्ड बेंचमार्क बनाना है. ओके, एंड दैट बेंचमार्क वी नीड्स टू बी रिमेन मेंटेन कि yes, iPhones are really has maintained that benchmark, that they always provide you the high quality, highly secured phone to their consumers. And that's why they charge you lakh rupees a phone. लाख रुपए एक फोन के चार्ज करना का मतलब यही होता है that they have set the benchmark. And the other companies, or we should compare our product with the other organizations. अगर मैं अपना फोन को कंपेयर करूँ, सैमसंग शुड स्टार्ट मेकिंग देयर बेंचमार्क, बिकॉज अभी एप्पल के बाद उनको सबसे बड़ा राइवल कंपनी सैमसंग ही है, या तो फिर ब्लैकबेरी का इंडिया का मार्केट तो इतना खास नहीं है, बट इट इज़ गुड इन यूएस या अदर कंट्रीज में ब्लैकबेरी का अच्छा मार्केट है, ब्लैकबेरी, मोटोरोला. बट how they need to make the standard, they need to compete with the Apple. But Apple, Samsung के नीचे जो other companies हैं, Redmi, Realme, Oppo, Vivo, OnePlus T, what are the things are there, whatever companies are there, they also need to set a benchmark that whatever things are required, they will be requiring as per the customer requirement, and we will provide you the high quality product and services for the organization. Then you have business process reengineering. Business process reengineering is none other than whatever things are running inside the organization. So you need to make sure that it goes in a proper process. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आपका असेंबलिंग लाइन है तो असेंबलिंग लाइन में अगर आपका रॉ मटेरियल थर्ड फ्लोर पे आ रहा है, पेंटिंग आपका फर्स्ट फ्लोर पे हो रहा है, असेंबलिंग आपका ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे हो रहा है, so it will not work. So you need to make sure that first of all, from incoming materials or from raw material to the finished goods, जो भी आपका रहेगा वो एक प्रोसेस में जाना चाहिए, बिकॉज इट शुड सेव योर टाइम एंड मनी एज वेल. सो अगर वो प्रोसेस से आपको लॉस हो रहा है या नुकसान हो रहा है, यू नीड टू रिवर्क ऑन दैट, यू नीड टू वर्क दैट कि जो ये सारा चीज़ है आप उस पर किस तरह से काम कर सकते हैं और उसको किस तरह से बेहतरीन कर सकते हैं. दैट इज सेड टू बी द बिजनेस प्रोसेस ring. You change the entire process of your organization. You start changing the process of the company and you make sure that कि जितना मिनिमल मूवमेंट होगा आपके प्रोडक्ट्स एंड सर्विसेज का, उतना ही आपके कंपनी का फायदा होगा. जितना मूवमेंट ज़्यादा होगा उतना टाइम कंज्यूमिंग होगा and that will increase the cost for the organization. So that is more important, that if the company is facing loss, you need to make sure that it goes under for engineering. Then enterprise resource planning is one of the software, okay, you can say it's a software. This helps you to understand the various working facilities or working things of an organization. So you need to make sure that it will helps to integrate various applications to manage the business. It has the main aim to harmonize the operations as well as to cut down the cost. जैसे अभी ERP है, there are new software also came into the market for SAP. SAP is also have come into the market. So SAP is also has various modules with respect to HR, marketing, finance. जैसे आपका टैली में ERP है, तो ERP के अंडर आपको बहुत सारा चीज़ देखने को मिलता है या बहुत सारा चीज़ आपको समझने के लिए सीखने के लिए मिलता है, एंड इट हेल्प्स टू reduce the burden of the work of an organization. Similarly ERP also है, तो अभी भी ERP बहुत सारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में है, बट सिमिलरली अभी नए सारे सॉफ्टवेयर और नए सारे टेक्नोलॉजीज मार्केट्स में आ रहे हैं to reduce the work and to reduce the burden of the organization. It also integrates good amount of information, customer order information, standardize and speed up the operations processes. It reduce the inventory and most importantly it reduce the human efforts. तो अगर एक एग्जांपल जो, अगर आप डीमार्ट जाते हो, आई डिपार्टमेंट स्टोर्स में जाते हो, तो इवन दे आल्सो हैज द ERP सॉफ्टवेयर्स विद देम. तो अगर एक रैक में से मैंने 10 बॉटल आपके थम्स अप के हैं और वहां से मैंने 5 उठा लिए, and if you keep the standardized in re-inventory of that bottles is 5, तो जब आपके 5 बॉटल खत्म हो जाएंगे तो ऑटोमेटिकली वो ऑर्डर प्लेस करेगा वेंडर को कि आप 5 बॉटल यहाँ पे प्लेस करो, तो वो रिप्लेनिश्ड हो जाता है या फिर रिफिल हो जाता है. तो दिस इज हाउ इट reduces the work of the human, and it is one of the efficient software which increases the efficiency of the company. Then you have supply chain management. Supply chain management is none other than the logistics part. You can see the picture beside the supply chain management, that is from raw material it will go to supplier, from supplier it will go to manufacturing, from manufacturing it will give to distribution, from distribution it will go to customers, and from customers it will go to consumers. This is the very simple ways of explaining the supply chain management. So it is the part of logistics. Then you have outsourcing. Outsourcing is you can say the third party. Third party is this outsourcing वाला complex बहुत easy है, where you give the entire work or partial work of your organization to the third party, and third party will complete in the entire work in a very proper way. तो थर्ड पार्टी फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मुझे अपने कंपनी का मार्केटिंग कराना है या मेरे प्रोडक्ट्स का मार्केटिंग कराना है, तो वेरियस मार्केटिंग एजेंसीज यू कैन गेट इन अ मार्केट. तो मार्केटिंग एजेंसीज जो रहते हैं मार्केट में, उनको आप ये काम दे दो, वो काम उनको अपने प्रोडक्ट दे दो, they will use their own ideas, they will generate their own ideas, they will do the advertisement of your product and services, and they will give you the business. That is said to be the outsourcing. So you are outsourcing the things. For example, अभी आपको घर पे साफ सफाई नहीं करनी है, you are not so fond of cleaning at your home, so you will call urban company. Urban company is third party. तो third party आएगी आपके घर पे and they will clean the entire house. They have the various services available with them, plumbing, electrician, car washing, AC cleaning, and numbers of services are available with them. So they can do. So you can outsource. You can give to third party and you can sit and relax. That is how the outsourcing functions. So these are the various different types of processes we have seen, that is value chain analysis, benchmarking, business process engineering, enterprise resource planning, supply chain management, and outsourcing. Then you have structural implementation. Structural implementation मतलब hierarchies of an organization. It is so simple. ये हमने starting से ही करते यहाँ पे आया है. So first you have entrepreneur structure. Entrepreneur structure is something like where you have a single entrepreneur and which has employees directly working under that entrepreneur or that the owner of an organization. जो आपके घर के नीचे जो बनिया वाला होता है या किराना वाला जो स्टोर होता है, वो स्टोर को हम लोग बोलेंगे entrepreneur structure, because the owner of the store sits on the chairs and he directly give order to the employee to whatever requirement are there. That requirement should be fulfilled by the employees and give whatever materials are required by the customers or the consumers. That is on the right hand. first जो आपको hierarchy है, वो hierarchy है आपका entrepreneur and employee का. Second, you have the functional structure. Functional structure something like the functional department, where the company has the top management and top executives, and underneath that you directly has the different functional department operates under them. That is the operations, the marketing, the research and development department, sales, HR, फाइनेंस, IT ऑपरेशन. ये सारे डिपार्टमेंट जो होते हैं जो काम करते हैं डायरेक्टली अपने HO के नीचे या आपके हेड ऑफिस या आपके CEO के नीचे, उसको हम लोग बोलेंगे फंक्शनल स्ट्रक्चर. सो दिस हैज two layers. This also has a two layers in which they have the various functional departments, and functional departments के नीचे then they have their employees under that. Then you have the divisional structure. Divisional structures में है you can show, okay, you have a CEO, then you have division product X, Y, and Z. So this you have three divisions of your company. Okay, for example, you have one technocraft industry. Technocraft may you have fabrication, then you have yarn division, and then you have technocraft tube division. You have 3 to 4 divisions allocated in same area, and these all divisions will have their individual research and development, marketing, and finance department. So they will not again get mixed with each other. They have their own autonomy to work, they have their own way of working, and they will not get mixed with each other. तो एक इनका CEO एक ही होता है, they have the single owner, but the single owner has 3 division located at 3 places, 3 different places. So he will be watching and he will be managing all the 3 divisions by single person, but all the 3 divisions might be have the different product and services offers to the consumers. Then you have SBU, that is strategic business unit. Okay, strategic business unit मतलब ये जो parent corporation, holding corporations, and then you have a strategic business unit 1, 2, and 3. What I have explained you earlier, strategic business unit is something like, if you take an example of a Tata group, the first unit will be Tata Tea, second unit will be Tata Motors, third unit will be Tata Steel, fourth will be Tata TCS. You can take TCS. So each unit will be taken as a separate entity. Here, this company will also will not get anything mixed with each other. Every unit will be considered as a separate business. Okay, ये एक दूसरे के बीच में ये लोग यहाँ पे किसी भी तरह से कंसिडर या किसी भी तरह से बीच में इसमें इन्वॉल्वमेंट नहीं करेंगे. That is said to be the SBU. Then you have matrix structure. Matrix structure is this, the down, where you have the combination of project manager and the production manager. Okay, sorry, you can say the functional manager, the functional managers and the project manager के बीच में you has to work. यहाँ पे problem क्या है ना, you the employees who are working on certain project, for example project A, B and C. So employees need to follow the command of a dual managers. यहाँ पे project manager का बात सुनना पड़ता है, as well as you need to listen to the functional manager also. तो यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन या थोड़ा सा काम करने को प्रॉब्लम होता है, बिकॉज द पीपल और द एम्प्लॉयज गेट कंफ्यूज whom you have to listen. The unity of command, what you say, the unity of command, that is something like that's creating a problem. So you don't understand कि exactly by किसका बात सुनना चाहिए, कैसा करना चाहिए, that you are little bit confused. That why it is much more important for the organizations कि once the project is get completed, the employees will go to their original places. बट मैट्रिक स्ट्रक्चर में क्या है ना कि एक ही टाइम पे आप जब काम करते हो किसी प्रोजेक्ट पे, आप कंफ्यूज हो जाते हो कि भाई मैं प्रोडक्शन मैनेजर का बात सुनूं या प्रोजेक्ट फंक्शनल डिपार्टमेंट मैनेजर का बात सुनूं या प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर का बात सुनूं. So that's when the conflict get arises in this. That's why it is a bit difficult for the organizations to run into the matrix structure. And then last you have network structure. Network structure is the things you can see on the right side corner, network structure. This is one of the good structure because when the entrepreneur or the core company, they should not have any kind of physical activity. He will be operating each and everything on a phone, okay, on a communication through email. उसको किसी से माल उठाना है तो वो फोन करेगा, वो बंदा वहां से माल उठा के विल गो टू द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रोसेस. वहां पे कोई थर्ड पार्टी उसको मैन्युफैक्चर करेगा, उसको बना के उसको लॉजिस्टिक्स ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के द्वारा उसको उठा के एक मार्केट में लेके जाएगा. इट विल गो टू द वेयर हाउस, फ्रॉम वेयर हाउस इट विल गो टू द होलसेलर, from wholesaler it will go to the retailer, and from retailer it will go to the customers and the consumers. So being an core company, you do not have to have any kind of entity with you. आपको कुछ भी करने का जरूरत नहीं होता है. जैसे आजकल देखो आपके व्हाट्सएप पे आ रहा है, ओके, कुर्ता ले लो या साड़ी ले लो, स्टेटस पे बहुत लोग रखते हैं. So it is a kind of a network structure where you do not have to do anything. You do not have to have your own company. You have to just create a network structure कि कहाँ से माल उठाएंगे, कहाँ से वो मैन्युफैक्चर होगा, कहाँ को वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होगा और कहाँ से वो लोग डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करके या ट्रांसपोर्ट करके कस्टमर के पास या दुकान में वो माल पहुंचेगा. So you should not have any kind of physical facility or infrastructure should be available with you. You need to just have to coordinate with the peoples to complete that work. That is said to be the network structure. Okay, so आज के लिए इतना बस है. We have completed a lot of things. Okay, any doubt in this? Any people having any doubt? सुनोगे तो डाउट होगा ना, सुन ही नहीं रहा है तो कैसे डाउट होगा. Anyone has any doubt in this? Okay, so we'll stop here and we'll continue tomorrow morning. Okay, जो remaining part है हमारे यूनिट 3 का वो हम कल खत्म करेंगे, and we'll complete our third unit. Okay, so you can now discontinue with the lecture. Okay, we'll meet you tomorrow.